Do not play with me. Do not play with me, because I'm not the one nor the two. You're not the one or the two. Let's go. You ain't got shit done. You ain't gonna do nothing.
Why you keep speaking on me for nothing?
Like I said, keep my fucking name out your mouth, bitch.
Keep my name out your mouth, because mine is always in yours for some reason.
No, some reason. Back the fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here before I slap the shit out of you.
You're not gonna smack shit.
Try me.
You think you're fucking tough? I'm not trying to.
Try me, Tinky. I be done drop kicked your ass. Fuck out of here, you dirty bitch.
I'm not dirty.
Yes, you are. Fuck out of here. You and your raggedy ass fucking bitch. Fuck out of here. Go suck a dick. Like I said what I said. And I said what I said. Please step to me like you want it. Tried me 2 times. I want you to do it a 3rd.
Lady that was found dead 4 days after she initially clocked in at her cubicle is just further proof that a job is just a job. And it sucks because her coworkers did report smelling a foul odor, but they thought that it was just plumbing issues or issues with the building. They didn't think that one of their coworkers was literally just sitting in like that is crazy to me. She clocked in at 7 a.m. and then just never clocked out, and then 4 days later they found her dead. I believe the woman was in her 60s. This is something that occurred in Arizona. There's no foul play, so she could have died of natural causes, but she died at work. And nobody thought, like, it's weird that this woman never clocked out. Like, the executives didn't think that, the bosses didn't think that, they didn't think anything. And then 4 days later, eventually they're like, okay, something is up, and they went and checked and this woman is dead. Work that job, go to work, come home. These people are not your family. Some may be your friends, and that's fine and dandy, but please, y'all, a job is just a job and nothing else. You go, you do the job you were supposed to do, and then you go home. I am sending best wishes to this woman's family. It is very unfortunate that she had to pass away, and it's unfortunate that she had to pass away.
I'm going to tell you right now, in my 7 years of working here, this is the most picked to death and unkind I've ever felt from this group, and I'm highly disappointed in how this meeting's going. Quite honestly, I can sit here and ask why I work 12 to 14 hours a day to try and keep this hospital up and running. And so I'm sorry, but I think the comments are overboard. If you don't like working here, then go someplace else.
Oh my God. She fucking up they shit. She is fucking that shit up. Oh my God.
You know how to drill.
Yeah, I would say some minutes, mommy. Don't. Oh my God. She really going crazy. What is it? This is crazy. Be careful. Oh my God, she just put the whole thing in
Oh my God, bless her heart.
She ain't never gonna be able to work nowhere again.
She not right. She,
I think she has a disability.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is it a mental health thing or?
I think she need to call the crisis assistant.
You gotta let her do her thing right now. Oh my God, she is not living right now.
She about to fuck up the whole story.
I'm not going to get no bread. I'm not going to.
We all just kind of watching. Like,
Just let her walk outside.
they not trying to touch her. That's what I'm saying. You see security trying to figure out what he gotta do. She throwing that bitch above her head. That's crazy. This is really crazy, y'all.
Okay, can you, I'm sorry, I didn't, what, can you say that again?
Yeah. Hi, Tatiana. This is Shelly from HR.
From HR, okay. No, I don't remember you, but what's going on?
Well, we had a discussion a couple weeks ago about your absenteeism and tardiness.
Okay.
Do you know what time you have to be clocked in at work?
6 o'clock.
Yeah, 6 a.m.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, on 7/18, you clocked in at 6:12. We
Wow.
had a discussion about that.
12 minutes.
Yeah, but, you know, they're waiting on you to be there, clocked in and ready to work at 6.
Okay.
So your employment is really going to be terminated as of today, because also on 7/28, you clocked in at 6:21.
21 minutes.
Yes, that's 21 minutes of company time.
But I still work though. Like, why didn't y'all tell me that today when I was just at work?
Because I handle all the HR, so they wanted me to call you because we had that discussion, remember, about...
And that was the day that I let alright, keep going.
So you were also on 8/8, you clocked in at like 6:32.
That was it. Okay, so I let my cousin use my car the night before, and he didn't bring it. He overslept or something. He didn't bring it back till the morning. So, like, I still made it though.
Literally like 9 days after we talked. So, and then on 8/12, you just did a no-call, no-show.
That was my birthday. August 12th, that's my birthday. Like, I already told you.
You didn't request that day off work, though.
But y'all know, that's my birthday. I'm not.
Birthday.
No, that's fine. Alright. Okay.
Everyone works on their birthday. Even I worked on my birthday.
Y'all too grown for me.
Well, unfortunately, I just need you to turn your keys in. And
I'll be there tomorrow, because that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, what?
Explain it all day! All day! For nothing! How many times he knows! He made everything! Listen, it started off fine, so we started out, friends. I am done! I quit! Lisa comes and she goes, hey, there's 8 tables waiting. And I go, what the fuck? I turn around, now there's 8 tables sitting! And I'm like, I already had 11, by the way, in case you wanted to know. I literally grabbed the owner, I said, come here. I said, hey, go fucking sit down right there and don't move, don't touch anything else. Next thing I know, 5 more tables are sitting down and I can't take it. I literally can't take it. I literally go up to you and I say, I don't fucking care that you're here. You're gonna give me 5 minutes whether you like it or not. Thank you. This one table gets up, comes to the kitchen. I've been waiting on my food for over an hour. Grab him, walk into the computer. Do you see how this says 29 minutes? Sit down and go shut the fuck up, get out of my face. I'm not doing this. I'm not take it, but not for me. Not for me. Having a nervous breakdown. And to everyone. Everyone has got it. Some people left me $3. Some people liked it and left me 30. I don't know how today went. I am never coming back here. I'm standing on business, bitch. I'm done.
All 24.
Here I am coming to my car to cry. And lo and behold, I'm looking right in front of me. And there's a nurse and she's crying in her car. This shit is fucking ridiculous. Like, you can't even cry in peace anymore. Like, I feel bad for her. Let me ask her if she's okay. Okay, she's okay. Anyways, I just want to get back to, so update for like, since I put in my 2-week notice, they are fucking with me so bad, it's not even funny. So like, first they had me working the other day as a tech. Then they canceled me on my 1.5-time shift. Like, come on, bruh. Don't fucking do that. And then I come in today. There was like, my section wasn't open, so they gave me 7 rooms. They opened up all 7 rooms at the exact same time. 11 o'clock I came in, 11 o'clock I had 7 fucking patients. And guess what? Nothing was done on any of them. And like, they need blood transfusion. It's fucking 4 o'clock. I'm still trying to do 10 a.m. meds because people need blood transfusions. There's like antibiotics and stuff that's due. It's like, confused patient, somebody trying to pull out his Foley and fucking run out of the hospital with no pants on. I have no sitter. I have no tech. I have no CNA. I have no nurse student. I have nobody to help me. It's just me. And when I asked, hey, can I at least get a tech or a CNA to come and help with my patients? Literally over the radio, the charge nurse said, no, we don't have one. So
I sent a message to the director. I was like, hey, like, I have 7 patients. You guys just patient dump me all at the same time. Nothing is done on anybody. Like, I need help. I was like, I need you to, like, at least send me a tech, a CNA, another nurse, something. Like, I got labs that are drawn. I, like, just put in an NG tube. Still, like, I need help. I need help. He gonna say it's not like we just got them laying around. Well, fucking find some. How about you call the floor upstairs? How about you call somebody in? That's why we have on call. Call somebody. Or is it like you just don't have anybody laying around because don't nobody want to work at this bitch? So if you ever put your 2 weeks in and you actually come in to complete the 2 weeks because you're a decent human being, just know this is the punishment that you will get. And I've been a holds nurse ever since I put in my 2 weeks. No critical care, no actual ER patients. Holds. Unfortunately, I could not make it through the entire shift. I spent my entire shift literally fucking begging for help from my charge nurse to my director to the doctors. One of the doctors who was like one of the admitted doctors literally got so mad that he had to escalate something up to his supervisor. I guess, I don't know what they call it, chief doctor or something like that. I have been begging for help, literally begging for help all day until I just finally was like, I can't take this anymore. So I can't finish my 2 weeks. I can't. It's just like not possible. It's humanly impossible for me to finish my 2 weeks because I am terrified for my license. So I talked to the charge nurse that came on at night and I told her, you know, I need you to call someone. I got a very thorough report because it is a travel nurse that they ended up sending down and she has no clue what she's doing. So I gave her a very thorough report. I sat with her for an hour, helped her out, getting the patient settled, all the rest of that, because I would never want somebody to just throw on me what was thrown on me. And I wished her good luck. I mean, I don't know what to say. She was like, this is some bullshit. Like, yeah, that's the same way I feel. That's the same way I feel. So now she feels like she want to walk out, but it's like somebody got to fucking stay. Somebody got to stay in that shit. I mean, it ain't going to be me, but somebody got to stay. It's just, it's unfair. Like, how the fuck I get all those patients with all those issues? I'm escalating problems and I'm getting no help. Not even a tech or a CNA to help with just the basic of the basics and stuff. But like, really, like, I'm trying to escalate stuff like, it's people that need blood transfusions and like have no access and I'm needing help and I'm begging. Literally begging. I begged literally all day for help. Nothing. I'm like, dude, this ain't worth my license. If somebody dies, I'm gonna be fucking, I documented the shit out of every single patient today. Like, I'm not gonna be caught in court for this shit. When I'm begging y'all and then y'all laughing, ha ha ha, no tech. I'm like, can I get some help? Ha 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 ha, no. That shit ain't funny. We just don't have extra techs laying around. Like, okay. And the nurse that just went down there, she was like, oh yeah, no, the charge told me that. Like, if I need help to just let her know that she got me. What the fuck was my help? But that's okay, baby girl. Just don't worry about it. You ain't got to worry about me.
Fuck a 2 week notice. You motherfucker should have noticed 2 weeks ago I was about to motherfucking quit.
What is it today?
Alright, well, we got 2 choices here, okay? You're stirring stuff up on the floor, so you can make the choice to stop doing that right here, right now, and adhere to Cox's core policies and stop being disruptive, or I can send you home.
Well, how am I being disruptive?
Okay. Getting up and announcing loudly so the whole floor can hear you that you're not on call.
That's true. Okay, so because you guys have lied already on me and stated that I've gotten
Is that a mature thing to do? Is it a
mature thing for you to make up a lie on me? Because you lied on me.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. You don't have to sign it. You don't have to sign nothing. You can take your paycheck. You can take your vendor check. But if I get one piece of information that you're trashing the store, I will forward it to my attorney.
I don't plan on talking about the store, so.
Well, you already have.
No, I said praise the Lord, I don't work here anymore. Can I have Savannah's too, please?
No, you cannot. I don't have permission to give you Savannah's check.
Okay, well, Savannah's about to be right back up here to get her sib.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. Don't you ever jerk nothing out of my hand. You need to learn some respect for people. Get out. Go. Come on.
I'll be back in a minute.
I don't know if I've told this story before, but one thing that you cannot do is tolerate disrespect from somebody at your job. I don't give a fuck at what level. I don't believe in brown nosing. I don't believe in eating shit until you get ahead. I don't believe in none of that shit. I believe in you go to work, you do your job, you go home. You do the things that your job entails that need to be done. You don't fucking cause anybody any problems, and you just go home. You also don't take any disrespect from motherfuckers who you work with or work for. I also don't believe in calling anybody my boss. That's just my own personal thing. I call them the manager. You are the manager of this establishment. I just so happen to work here. So one of my last truck driving jobs, there was a guy named Dave. He was the general manager. Now Dave was a complete and utter dickhead. And he was built just like any old loser ass ex-high school reject. 6 foot, pudgy stomach, bald as fuck, comb over hair, face and eyes too close together, just an ugly motherfucker. And he knew that, and I'm pretty sure that's the reason as to why he was the way he was. And it's always funny when that's the situation, because it's not my fault that you look the way you look, so you shouldn't act the way you act just because you don't like certain things. Like, you treat people with respect, anyway. And this job in particular, they were sticklers about time. Like, the time, the workday starts at 7 o'clock. You get there at 7:01, they got a problem. You get there at 7:02, you got a problem. But if you get there anytime before like 6:57, 6:50, you gotta wait for them to unlock the door, which I never understood that shit. So on a few occasions, because I live so far away from the job, like with no traffic, I can get there in 20 minutes because I lived in this apartment when I worked at that job. But early in the morning, traffic is fucked up. 45 minutes, 50 minutes tops, sometimes an hour, because you got to worry about traffic. You got to worry about accidents. And if there's, that's not there, you got to worry about some combination of the two. It's just a crazy experience. There's 2 divisions at this job. You got the warehouse division and the people who drive the trucks. Of course, I'm one of the ones that drive the trucks. And the way that this guy would talk to the people in the warehouse was one of those, I know you need this job, so I'm going to talk to you this way because I know you're not going to do anything. You're not even going to quit, right? Because a lot of those people would just stay there because they didn't have any other options. My situation is a little bit different. But it was this one day in particular, I got there like 7:03, 7:04. I came in, I went straight to my truck, I got my paperwork, I started doing my pre-trip, and he came outside. He came outside and he said, for a guy who drove truck over the road, because they, of course they know my background. I drove truck over the road before I got this job. And he would say, for a guy who drives truck over the road, you should have a better idea of how to control time and get here on time and do your job. Now, this is like the 3rd time he said something slick to me. Now, I just let usual dumb shit just fall off my back. It is what it is. You're just a fucking child in a man's body. You're trying to prove a point and cause a scene, but that doesn't matter to me. But this day in particular, I was already having a bad day because I hate my fucking job. I don't have a lot of money. These people aren't paying me shit, and you're not going to just try to disrespect me and embarrass me in front of all these people. So I turned around and I said, I can't control traffic. I can't control traffic. I kept saying that over and over again. He kept talking and I got really fucking upset and I said, listen, Dave, I can't fucking control traffic. All right? I'm here. Let me do my job. And you know what he did? Turned around, walked back into the office. Fucking right. Now that was on a Friday. And of course, that Monday, I got fired. I recorded the conversation I had with the other guy who let me go because they had another office in some other state that was like the logistics office for this division or some shit like that. And the guy told me I got to work at like 7:10, 7:15, 7:09 when the latest I would get to this job is 7:05. And they were incredibly adamant about letting me go because I knew it's because I talked to this guy the way I did. I'm not going to sit here and let you disrespect me. I'm not going to sit here and let you embarrass me. I'm not going to sit here and let you flex your power over me just because you're a general manager and I'm a driver. No, we're grown men. We're actually not that far off in age, but we're grown men. So you talk to me with respect, I'll give you respect. If you have a problem, you can pull me to the side and be like, hey man, I really need you to get here on time, da 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 da. There's nothing wrong with that. And I can explain, hey man, traffic is always ugly on the way up here. I don't know where you live at, but this specific job, everywhere you can take to get to this job requires you to go through some type of traffic. So I left that fucking job and I started working someplace else within a week, because I truly believe that no matter how bad things get out here, I'll have a job in a week. I'll have another job in a week. I'll never be without some type of cash flow, right? That's why I'm working on my own businesses as we speak. All in all, don't sit here and let these people, these managers, these higher ups, these assistants, these whatever the fuck, don't sit here and let these people talk to you all kind of way just because they got a little bit of power and you feel like you don't. Because the last place I want to be personally is a job to where there's some type of fear involved with me working here. Like fear that this person is going to get upset, fear that this manager is going to fire me, fear that this guy, I'm scared of shit. You want me to do this job? I'm going to do it. I'm going to go home. I ain't here to make friends. I'm not here to fucking high five nobody. I'm here to get my fucking job done and go the fuck home. And you should be the same way.
Okay, you know you can't be late on your first day.
I know, my car broke down.
I know, baby, but I'm so sorry. You can get some food, shop, look around, but you can't be late on your first day, love. I can't, because I can't risk that. Not especially on your first day. Not on your first day. But yeah, maybe once you get yourself together, you can come back and reapply. But just look around, get you some food and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, baby, hey.
There's people without a degree today because of a man.
Back when I was in college, I was a sales associate at a clothing store, and most of the other girls who worked there were also in college at the time too. And we had this one manager who was just an awful person, just the meanest person ever, and she treated all of us like crap. She was so horribly rude and disgusting and just loved making people cry. Now, after working there for a while, I learned that she was married to a man who treated her like garbage. She wasn't happy in that marriage, but she felt stuck. And I remember her saying one day that she regretted getting married instead of going to college and becoming a vet like she wanted to. And I'm sure that's why she was so mean to everyone that worked there, because she was jealous of the fact that we were going to college and doing what she wished she had done. But she didn't do it because she chose to get married instead of pursuing her dreams and accomplishing whatever goals she had for herself. Don't chase a man, chase your degree and get your dream job. Worry about a man later, so you don't have to live a life filled with regret.
The situation is, this is a girls' trip. It's all females. Our front desk rep allowed 2 men to have a key card to our room and come upstairs in our room while we were in the room.
No identification.
No identification.
No asking for no last name.
He did not. They told them Jessica, a random name, which is my first name, no last name, and he gave him a key card to our room. Mind you, this isn't the first incident, because earlier, her mom, who's sick in the hotel room that we're constantly on the phone with back and forth while we're trying to enjoy ourselves on the trip, said that somebody was trying to get in the room early and she had to lock the door. So she had to put a lock on it, and we wondering like why the key card is not working. We came back down here and asked for another key card. This was prior to this last situation that just happened around 3:15 while we're upstairs in the room. And they walked in the actual room, 2 men, one with a mask on. I didn't see them because I was in the room, but they're asking for me. Now, once have we even came in contact with men on this trip?
And they didn't even know who she was because they walked in the door and was like, "Are you Jessica? Are you Jessica?" They didn't even know who she was.
I don't know who he is or who the person is.
I don't even know what they look like.
I asked him, did you even get his ID before you gave him our key card to our room? We have so much designer expensive stuff up there. You know how much human trafficking and everything is going on? And you gave somebody access to our room, Jessica in this room. I could have sat in the lobby just randomly and listen, oh yeah, what room y'all in? We going up to this room. You didn't even get an ID or anything. I asked him for his first and last name. He gave me the first name. You don't even want to cooperate, but you gave somebody a key card for a room.
We also asked him, did he take the key? He said yes, and then turned around and said no.
Okay. Pause and let him talk. I'm trying to get the story.
Okay. So once he had said that, I had told him I do not have sheets down here at the front desk. I will have to call my security officers to have my security officers bring them up to the room for them. So then after that, I had gave him the room. Then he pulled out $100 in cash and placed it down right over here. And I looked at
you sold us.
Whenever we all look through the camera, you will see that. He pulled the cash, he put it right over on the table. And I looked at him and I was like, what is that for? And then he was like, I'm just over here tipping you. And I was like, $100? I was like, do you really need change, or like, are you just tipping me $100? He was like, I'm gonna speak with her to see exactly what she wants to do. And I was like,
sold us for $100.
Wow.
I didn't take it from him.
I don't care if you
The room number, that interfere, I'm gonna need y'all to step back. I need to talk to him about
Please, I called because the two guys walked in our room with their key. The other one was with us. She was laying on the couch. I was in the bathroom. I heard her talking to someone. She says, "What are y'all doing in here? Who are y'all?" And they like, "This not 3602. I mean, this not 3604." And she like, "No, who are y'all?" And they kind of backed out and left. I came out the bathroom like, somebody was just in here, and she told me, yeah. So I thought that multiple keys work for multiple rooms. So I called downstairs and said, two guys walked in our room. Why does their key card work for our room? And he said, and that's when he told me that
she has the floor right now.
Exactly what he told me that. That's funny because two guys came down here, asked for Jessica, and gave me your room number, and I gave them a key. I said, wait, you gave them a key to our room? I'm coming down. I hung up the phone with him and I came downstairs.
Who's Jessica?
Me.
Jessica,
I came downstairs. The two guys were right there. It was me and the other girl who's upstairs right now.
It's my sister.
She said, we came downstairs. We're trying to figure out why he gave them a key to our room. The guy said, what's your name? Talking to my friend. He said, what's your name? So obviously he doesn't know Jessica.
I have a question too.
And she like, what you know? She ain't never answered.
But
And he said, your name you Jessica? And I'm like, no. But my thing is, why are you looking for Jessica? And
that's true. So I'm saying, like, what happened? What was his response?
he was saying, I'm sorry, it shouldn't be an inconvenience. I'm sorry, I didn't apologize. I didn't mean anything. Can I take you on a date to accommodate? Can I take you on a date to accommodate that? Can I make it up to you? And I'm ignoring him. I'm ignoring him totally because I'm focused on why he would give anyone our room key. He had not once seen us walk in here with no guys.
No men has been here.
My name is
never. No.
I don't even know what they look
We've
like.
been on a private
My name is on the reservation. I put her name on there as so she can have a key card. So initially, he shouldn't even be giving a key card to a male. If I put her name on there, I can see if a female came down here and say, "Well, I'm Jessica and I need a key card." But you gave it to a male that's asking for a female's name.
But not only that,
and my name is the original name on the
where is the
reservation.
last name basis for you to state a key?
Is it like right? Can it be more than one Jessica in this hotel?
Exactly.
But he's saying it's not just Jessica. There's
the room number.
Exactly.
We never came in contact with any men. We've been on a private yacht since we got here.
And facts is, it's cameras all through here. You haven't seen
not one man. You can run the cameras.
I've been here since last Sunday.
I hear you on that, but that's not up to him to monitor that.
I understand that too, but it's not up to him to give someone our room key.
With just the first name
on our room.
Which we gonna address. Now you operate based on policy. At the end of this, if it's an issue, nigga, that's something you gotta take over. Corporate him as management.
We will.
I already contacted my lawyer.
Right. So they can address it. Because like I said, if you saying that's a policy, I personally,
it don't make sense. And can we see the policy?
And then for them not to even know who she is my whole thing. How are you asking for her and you don't even know who she is and what she look like?
Y'all can't talk about any talking. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Come on, that's not making sense.
We'll wait on the other young lady to come over here and
Okay. Do you need the other two ladies to
No, you two is fine.
HR is trained how to fire people. So keep these 3 points in mind if you're ever terminated from your job. My name is Craig Levy, and I'm an employment law attorney. First, HR doesn't want the employee to have notice of the meeting. So the individual will often show up to a one-on-one with their supervisor only to see HR present. Second, HR wants the meeting to happen as quickly as possible. So the employee comes into the meeting or shows up to the Zoom, they're notified of the termination, and that's the end of it. They don't tell the individual why they're being terminated, and they don't answer any questions. And third, HR wants to prevent any liability to the company, so they don't want the supervisor speaking or answering questions. They provide the employee the bare minimum with respect to information, maybe regarding health benefits, and then it's over.
So one of my coworkers got fired yesterday, right? And I don't know all the full detail. Like I done heard bits and pieces, but he got fired yesterday. I don't know. I guess they owed him $40 for fixing one of the airlines on his truck. One of my airlines had popped maybe like a month ago, and he did replace it. He replaced mine on GP because when he first started, I helped him out. I looked out for him and made sure he was set up, so that was fair exchange, right? But I guess somehow along the way, one of his airlines popped, and he had to replace his. I guess they were supposed to pay him like $40 for replacing his, and so I guess they still hadn't paid him back for that. And from my understanding, he didn't get his $40 back, and they wanted some of us to stay late to work. I didn't stay late. I did leave, but you don't know what my situation is. You don't know what I done talked to him about. Because of all of this, after they fire him or whatever, all of the shit they get into it with, he sends a picture of my truck to my dispatch manager, throwing me under the bus, basically saying like, "Oh, Howard gone, but you tripping with me." First of all, you a grown man with a child. I would never, and I don't need to throw nobody under the bus if I got some shit going on. I'm gonna stand 10 toes in my own shit. I don't need to throw the next motherfucker under the bus to prove my point. I don't gotta do that. But that's what he did to me. My dispatch manager hit me up about this shit. So I hit him up because I'm like, "What's up, bro? Why you do all of that?" He like, "Oh, fuck them bitches. They try to fuck over me. Woo woo woo. I've been good to them. Woo woo. Fuck them." And I'm like, "But why did you put me in it? Why am I involved in your shit? You don't know what I done discussed with them and I got going on for me when I leave. I'm the first motherfucker that get here every day. I get here when I get here, it's crickets. I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm tired. I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. None of y'all are here when I get here. So to try to throw me under the bus, that was just crazy to me. Like, I didn't get that. That was crazy, but whatever. Not only did he do that though, he like, "Oh, I'm gonna go and let you know right now. She better pay me Friday, because if they don't pay me Friday, ain't nobody gonna be working." I'm like, "They gonna pay you. She not fucked up like that. They gonna pay you." He like, "I'm gonna go and let you know. Ain't none of y'all gonna really be able to work. You ain't gonna be able to work." I'm like, "Why I ain't gonna be able to work?" He said me, he's like, "'Cause I took all my shit." I'm like, "What you mean?" He like, "I took all my shit." He like, "My airline that I replaced on your truck, I snatched that bitch off and I took that bitch." And I'm like, "Why you do that?" And he like, "I don't give a damn. You think y'all working, and she done fired me, and I'm gonna let them use my shit, but you replace my shit for free because I looked out for you when you first started working here. So why would you come back and snatch my shit off?" I'm like, "You know what? It's cool. It's what it is." So I asked him, I'm like, "Did you leave the keys to your truck? Where you left the keys to your truck at?" He was like, "That shit they in the truck." Because I'm thinking, well, if you towed the line off of my shit, then at least you left the keys to your shit, and I can drive your shit until they fix my shit, right? I get here this morning, and I'm gonna let y'all see what happened. I got here like 5:15, right? When I get here, I come and walk over to my truck, and this is what I see. So this is how my shit is when I got here this morning. Look at that. Took his line and the glad hand. That's all I got. Look at that. Like, so then I'm like, "All right, cool. I'm gonna go over to his truck." So I go over to his truck, and this is what the fuck I see. So this is his truck. This is his truck. Look at that. Look at that. The nigga took. Look at that. Y'all see that shit? The nigga took his emergency line, and I guess this is the one that they owed him $40 for. He left the glad hand. He took this. The crazy part about all this is, in the midst of him doing all of that, even though me and this fool don't even fuck with each other no more and shit, because I don't want to see nobody lose their job and shit, I still gave him my old dispatch manager new info so he can at least still have a job to pay his bills and shit. And he didn't even have the decency to tell me that he fucked up both trucks. You know what I'm saying? And he tried to tell me that it's nothing it's not personal. Yeah, it's personal if you put my name in it. It's personal. Because what the fuck do I got to do with y'all shit? It's definitely personal. So you did that.
Freaking freed in my whole life. I didn't have the guts to do it. I wanted to work 2 jobs, be able to save money. I didn't think I was going to find another job that I'd be able to work with this type of schedule. It comes down to my mental health. I have to prioritize that.
I have kept quiet for a very long time because I worked under the company and there are certain things I could and couldn't say if I didn't want to risk termination. But now that I, have quit the job, I can speak freely and speak my mind. There's going to be a lot of chismosas that are going to talk about me after this video, I'm sure of it. That's another reason why I quit. I know I publicly post my life out there on social media, but there's a lot of associates at my workplace that used to talk about me all the time, make fun of my videos, or send them to their group chats. People that are team leads, you know who you are, that send around my video because you guys have nothing better to do, just making fun of my video because I post content on social media. Made fun of for it just because they're jealous and, spiteful of me for no reason, right? Second point, because there's a lot of favoritism that goes on in the front end that a lot of you guys know a lot that I would do and have to do the shitty jobs because their homies don't have to do it since they're friends with the manager. I'm a very hard worker. I always show up on time. I'm never late and I don't call out rarely. I literally will come in sick. And that's the type of worker I am. I'm just a very hard worker. I also get pulled into the office, but the team leads aren't able to coach me because there's nothing to literally coach me on. But they will bring me to the office and tell me, oh, you have to do this task because it's part of your job duty as being part of the front end. But they don't tell that to any other associate and they only make me do that job. How about you preach that to all the other associates that you don't make do that one particular job, even though it's their job duty too because they're a front-end associate. But no, they'll only pull me into the office and tell me that it's my job duty and if I want to otherwise I need to get an accommodation letter and all that type of stuff. Which is so ironic because the people that pull me into the office are the same people that had a group chat about me to make fun of me and my TikToks. Crazy. The ones that have power are also the ones that are abusing it because they know they can. There were so many days that I cried because it was just so much and I was putting up with the worst things. That being said, I'm just very thankful that I left that toxic job and I have nothing against my coach. Actually, I have a lot of respect for my coach, but not for those team leads, and that's all I have to say.
Can't be the only person who feels like this. So I'm 30 years old. I am unemployed. I've been unemployed for 4 months. I literally can't get a job. I've applied to over 150 jobs. I now have negative $4.41 in my savings account because of the monthly service fee that just hit. I don't know when I'm going to get a job. I feel very lost. This feeling of being unemployed and applying to jobs and retailing your resume, getting rejected and then seeing the job reposted literally 2 weeks later is demoralizing. And remembering that I am still worthy and I am still valuable has been very difficult. I left my last job because it was destroying my mental and physical health. I liked the job, but I just couldn't do it anymore. And so I applied to a new job and I was going to make the most money I was ever supposed to make in my life. And they laid me off 4 days before I was supposed to start due to company reorganization. And I haven't been able to find a job since. I don't have a Roth IRA. I don't have any type of investment accounts. I don't know if I'll ever own a house. I am married, but we're both children, to be quite honest with you. I live in an apartment that we can no longer afford because I lost my job, moved down here for the job that laid me off 4 days before I was supposed to start. So when you sign a lease, you just can't get out of it like that. That's not how that works.
You don't legally have to give 2 weeks notice if you want to quit your job. My name is Paige Sparks. I'm an employment lawyer. I only represent employees, and giving 2 weeks notice is a very nice and courteous thing to do, but unless you have a contract or something, you don't legally have to do that. Unfortunately, one of the reasons people don't give 2 weeks notice anymore is because the employer will fire them right away. So you may be planning on getting those 2 weeks of pay and then get fired right away. So a lot of people just don't give notice and quietly work those 2 weeks and then quit on the last day they work. If you don't give 2 weeks notice, your employer can't punish you with things like withholding your last paycheck because you didn't give notice. If you do give notice and the company fires you without letting you work those 2 weeks, you may be able to get unemployment benefits for that time frame. Of course, every situation is different, but generally there's no legal requirement for you to give 2 weeks notice at work, and it's a nice thing of you to do that you don't have to do. Let me know what else you want to know.
Got fired from Bloomingdale's for refusing to sleep with my boss.
You can't go in there. He's trying to get into corporate, sir. Close the door, please. Close the door. Please close the door.
I want to speak to somebody that works here.
What are you doing, Emmanuel? You cannot go.
Hello, I want to speak to somebody that's working here.
Look, can you please hurry this up.
I feel discriminated against. Hello. Yeah, I want to speak to our corporate or whoever that might be.
No, this is a
It can't be in there.
I mean, it says
you can't be
proper service.
it's a business office.
So who would I speak to if I wanted to speak to a corporate?
or you have to call someone. I don't know. This is a selling office. We are functioning like in the store, and we do both. This is not a manager, anything.
Okay, so you telling me there's nobody I can go to if I want to like talk about something or complain?
Not this department.
So what would that be?
I don't know, sir.
Specific department, sir, you can ask for a manager and they can get you a manager.
You said where?
Sure.
A couple weeks after taking maternity leave, I don't know what I was thinking at that time to just go back, but I felt like I had to keep my job. That was the only chance I had. I didn't get my last paycheck, and my current pay was docked. They reduced my pay upon coming back. I had brought this to my boss's attention, and I was concerned that because I went out to have a baby that all this was happening to me, not getting paid, having my workload reduced, having my pay reduced, and he fired me after I brought it up to him.
The vast majority of states in the United States are at-will states, meaning you can be terminated for any reason or no reason at all, so long as it's not an unlawful reason. And you know what's an unlawful reason? Terminating someone who had a baby. Ladies and gentlemen, pregnancy is protected under the law, and you cannot be terminated because you elected to extend your family. What she needs to do is go to Google and type in EEOC in her local jurisdiction to find her local version of the EEOC, and that's how to potentially be represented completely for free. Or alternatively, look for a lawyer that charges on a contingent basis, so that way it doesn't cost her any money up front. There are tons of lawyers who do this. My office does this all the time, so it's definitely something that you can look into.
Attention target guest and Morgan. This is Megan Gray from the front end, and I want to let you know that I quit and I'm done with this company. Please actually respect your employees and care about our safety for once, and I hope you have a good night.
Miserable. Manager hates on her employee on some Cinderella shit.
I'm gonna have to try Spark though. Like, that's a Walmart, right? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Wow, what time? You just have to wait. They can get Bill go home rather than every.
Oh, cause I've been waiting for like months.
Put your input on.
Yeah. I'll be on it for real. Like, okay, it's a.
And that's for him.
Okay, thank you. Pregnant.
Oh wow, I would never have guessed that. That may affect work. Does this explain some doctor's appointments?
Yeah.
All right, I won't say anything to anyone except for HR. I will talk to you when you're back. Go enjoy PTO, please, and try to get some mental rest, emotional rest. All right, I'll talk to you next week.
All right, thanks, Taylor. See ya.
Bye. We're here to talk about something completely unrelated to what you brought up to me last week while you're on PTO. That said, the team has undergone a restructuring, and unfortunately, your role has been eliminated, and that is effective today. I want you to know that this was an extremely difficult decision to make, and we took a lot of care in making it. Again, all that said, I'm going to drop off and let Cass discuss your offboarding with you.
I also know this is a lot to take in, especially after coming back from vacation, so if you need a pause, if you want questions.
Yeah, I guess just what's happening. I got fired.
Yes, the role is terminated.
But why?
The role was no longer needed.
And how is that determined?
That was determined with the business leaders of the ways of working and how the team has evolved.
Yeah, who were the business leaders?
You know all of them. So it was Sarah, Taylor, Donnie, etc.
Was it based on performance?
No, it wasn't based on performance. It was the overall structure of the team. I am sorry for the timing.
Yeah, especially I just told Taylor last week that my girlfriend's pregnant, but it's not great timing. But
anything else for now?
Nope, nothing else.
Okay, great. Thank you again, Tom.
Okay, so this is how I got 5 McDonald's, and I gotta say this really fast because I don't want to do no part 2. If I have to, then I might. But anyways, so I was working at McDonald's. I keep saying Walmart, McDonald's, and I always came in my off days when they needed me to. I always, worked. I only got 1 break that whole time I worked there. I got 1 break, and that's because we had a different manager working that day. Other than that, when it was a different manager, I never got a break. But and mind you, at this time, this is my first job, so I'm 16. So I'm working there all these months, for like a whole month, and on this particular day, my stomach turned really, really bad because Mother Nature had came, and your girl needed a break because it was my first day of my cycle, so I needed a break this day. And when I came in, the shift manager was like, Deanna, I'm gonna need you to wash them dishes. Mind you, this is first shift dishes. They didn't wash their dishes before they left, so she gonna ask me to wash them. I ain't saying no. I said okay, but we were so busy that day, I never got a break that I couldn't get a chance to wash them. So one of the cooks that was on the grill was like, oh, I'll wash them for her. And she got an attitude and was like, why you want to wash the dishes for her? And da-da-da-da. And I was like, why you mad? You said you want the dishes washed. He said he gonna wash them for me. So what's the issue? So then it's about time we get off. Mind you, I ain't had no break today. I ain't had nothing to eat. I worked 8 to like a 9-hour shift. I'm tired. So I get it's about time for me to get off, and the lady things like, then you saying wash the dishes. Mind you, the man said he's gonna wash the dish for me, so I didn't know why she kept saying that. So I forgot I had the little headset on, and I was like, if you say that one more time, I'm not washing shit. And she heard it. She was like, I heard it, and I was like, ooh. And I was like, oh well, you already heard it now. So then I'm like, okay, it's time for me to go. And she's like, no, such that's supposed to come here and cover your shift. The night shift is not here yet. So I'm like, well, they ain't got nothing to do with me. I gotta go. Like, my dad is outside waiting. And when my daddy's picked me up from work, it was no waiting. Once if I told him I got off at 9 o'clock, I gotta be outside at 9 o'clock or he's gonna be blowing on my phone. And he was blowing on my phone. So then, my dad come in. I hear, where my daughter at? Where my daughter at? And I'm like, oh my God. And I had already knew it was my daddy. So I walk out and I give her the headset. She's like, well, every time I tell you wash the dishes, you don't do it. I'm just gonna keep riding you up. So I was like, okay. So then my dad and one of the other managers are going back and forth. The night shift manager, that's who's working cover night shift, they arguing. He's like, where my daughter at? My daughter's supposed to get off at, it was at 9 o'clock. I wasn't supposed to get off at 9. I was supposed to get off at 11 because I couldn't work at 12 o'clock. So I was supposed to get off at 11. And he like, your daughter gonna get off when I tell her to. So when my daddy heard that, he go off. He like, no, my daughter ain't no slave. That's what you're not gonna do. You're not gonna talk to my daughter like she no slave. So then the shift manager got in, and she look like a mother effing oompa loompa. And I'm trying not to cuss, but she like an oompa loompa. So I'm like, yo, oompa loompa body, hey, better not talk to my daddy like that. So I'm arguing with her. The other manager arguing with my daddy, and we just all arguing. So then my dad like, oh, we can take this on the other side of the street. I can show you what real niggas. Yeah, so him and my daddy was still arguing. Me and the lady was arguing because I was just like, girl, like, why you talking to my daddy? My daddy not talking to you. So I'm like, you oompa loompa body licking ass B. And my dad over there arguing, and I gotta say B and like, you know, because TikTok be doing too much. But, and then he was like, my dad was like, we could take it to the other side of the screen. I can show you what real niggas do. Real niggas fight and da-da-da-da. I beat your A. And if I didn't say nothing, my dad was going to keep going. So I tried to, like, tell him, like, come on. And then she started calling the police because she was like, there's 2 people in the store in the inside our building, and they won't get out. They won't leave. They're trying to fight us. And I'm just like, girl, like, nobody's not even trying to fight you with your scary self. My dad's trying to fight him, not you. Ain't nobody studying you. Like, if you want me to whoop yours, I can whoop yours too, baby. But anyway, so we go back to the car, and I told my dad, I was like, dang, like, I left my purse up in there. And he was like, all right, you want me to come back in there with you to get it? So my dad came back in, and he didn't say nothing. He didn't say nothing about it. He just stood there to make sure they would let me into the back so I can get my purse out of the break room. So I'm going to the back, and I heard somebody say, who let that man back in? And I cussed and that was the cook that said he was going to wash my dishes. And I'm like, that's my daddy. Like, shut up. Like, shut the F up. Like, that's my daddy. Like, he not saying nothing. He just made sure I come and get my purse. So I got my purse and I left out. On top of that, they did. In that store, they had roaches. They had bugs that they never cleaned up for real. They barely cleaned up. We had roaches in our little smooth machines, but that was my very first job, and I needed the way to get paid, and that was the quickest thing that would hire me. So of course I wasn't just gonna quit on the spot, and I was gonna work at Six Flags, but at the time I had red hair, and Six Flags wasn't gonna let me start my orientation with red hair. So yeah, so me and my mama ended up calling corporate, and they ended up feeling a thing or whatever, and they ended up rebuilding the whole thing anyways. And I don't know if it's any better, but they had shut it down for a while because they was renovating it, and they made it better. So, and that was like not too long afterwards, so I'm pretty sure it was because of our call, because I let them know that we had roaches in our smooth machines. And then my mom told them how we went up there and they was rude to us. We was trying to buy food, stuff like that. So yeah.
As you all know, we are headed into our busy season, so please let me know if you have any time off planned. I need to get that in as soon as possible.
I submitted a few days in February for a snowboard trip.
Kate, I saw that request come in. You should have received approval already.
All All right, anything coming up for you, Brian?
Yeah, so I'm actually going on a backpacking trip through the Himalayas, so pretty excited. It's going to be like a few months.
Wait, did you just say a couple of months?
Yeah, well, it's actually technically 4, but unlimited PTO, right? I mean, per the employee handbook, so I figured, well, might as well use it.
That's not up to you, Brian. Those requests have to come through HR.
Yeah, you can't just take a couple months off at a time. That's not how this works.
Okay, well, that's kind of confusing, and now I'm stuck with a non-refundable Sherpa fee, so not sure how we want to proceed or if the company can cover this, but you know,
we're definitely not covering your Sherpa fee. I can tell you that right now.
Okay.
The job when you're wrongfully fired.
At this time, the partners at Del Ship are going to be staging a walkout in response to corporate unfair labor practices and targeted anti-union retaliation against their workers. We do apologize for the inconvenience. If you have an order and need to get a refund, please speak with our store manager.
Go besties go.
The rest of us will be leaving the store at this time.
Brand is a reach, which is why I don't understand why she's even being invited to this. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very frustrated because it feels like you flipping like 6 people broke. You know I rock with you. I know I do. But the damn girl is in the mix.
What? I mean, I don't understand why nobody knows anything. Literally, no one knows nothing at all. And it's crazy to me how this company is being ran at this moment in time because management doesn't seem to know anything. Nobody knows how to do anything. No trainers know how to do this. Nobody knows how to do that. It is highly, highly frustrating. And I understand that you're supposedly coming in with the best foot forward and you're trying your best and so on and so forth. But how can we turn to you as our manager if you don't even know anything? And it's not to insult you. It's just the fact of nobody knows nothing. The communication is absolutely horrid. Horrid. How are we supposed to make sure that we're going to be set for OJT when we don't even know what to do? Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Ruby. We definitely, the thing I don't know about is why Kim isn't here. I can find out and let you guys know what happened. As far as the trainers not knowing what's going on, if you guys can give me some examples of what the trainers don't know, I can definitely give that feedback to the training team. When I asked for a few examples, it was more of the training style.
This waitress was fired after receiving a $4,400 tip.
To turn right back around and find out that I wasn't keeping it was kind of disheartening because we don't tip share in any way.
She served a group of more than 40 business executives during her shift at this restaurant. And because these customers liked her service, they all pitched in to give her a huge tip worth $4,400. But her joy didn't last long as the restaurant fired her for receiving the tip. Ryan Brandt was working in this restaurant for over 3.5 years, and those 3 years of service, she encountered different customers, situations, and a fair share of memorable nights. But ever since she worked here, this day was definitely the day she will never ever forget.
So we are tipping a total of $4,000.
These customers gave her the biggest tip she ever received her entire life. She was so overwhelmed and immediately cried when this man handed her her hard-earned tip. She felt like all her hard work had been paid off.
I was definitely just shocked and overwhelmed with joy and gratitude in that moment as soon as I realized what he was saying.
But just when she was just enjoying the fruit of her labor, her tears of joy suddenly turned into tears caused by disappointment.
They fired me from Oven and Tap over the phone, and I've been there for 3.5 years. So that was also really heartbreaking, especially when I didn't think that I did anything wrong.
Management apparently fired her for receiving the $4,400 tip.
They did not call ahead and ask our tipping policy, nor did they email and ask about our tipping policy.
The employee terminated was not terminated for retaining the tip received that evening.
According to them, they didn't just fire Ryan because of a mere tip, but Ryan was fired for violating their policy. In fact, they said that the the other waitress who kept the tip is still working for them. They said that it's not a problem to receive tips as long as the employees follow the restaurant's rules and policies, because this insane tipping policy said that food servers should only get 1% of the food sales and 20% of the tips from guests. And they said that Ryan violated it. It's not the end for Ryan, because when the same guy who handed her the tip knew about her termination, he took the money from the restaurant and made sure Ryan got every cent of it. And it didn't stop there, because this guy and the other executives whom Ryan served set up a GoFundMe page and raised over $8,700 in just a matter of days. Despite Ryan's termination, she is still fortunate for having all these people's backs.
So I started a new job on Wednesday. It's Friday, and I really liked it, and it was going really well. It's in the suburbs, and it's like 20 minutes away from my house, so I've been leaving really early and trying to time it. Obviously, I'm normally really punctual. I don't show up late, you know, especially like at a new job. I'm a good employee, and I forgot my phone at home today, so I had to go back and grab it. I was freaking out because I was looking at the clock and I was like, fuck, I'm supposed to be there at 8:30, and I got there at 8:32 and was at my desk at 8:32. It's an open floor, and the boss looked at me and said, you can't be late in your first week, you're fired. And I thought he was joking, because it's a super chill, lax environment. Like, he would fuck around with people, and I was like, you're joking. Like, I literally, my first instinct was that it was a joke. I'm not kidding. And he wasn't joking. So I got there, again, just to reiterate, at 8:32, and they fired me. I'm angry and I'm shocked and I'm hurt, especially just because that's not who I am, and I'm really trying to not put it on me, you know, like I should have been there at 8:30, but no warning, nothing. No one gave me a heads up, like, hey, you know, your first week, like, they're really strict. If they would have said that, oh my God, you know, and I was already bugging out that I was 2 minutes late. If anyone has any words of encouragement.
Black women on all white teams are likely to receive low performance reviews.
Ask me how I know. Ask me how I fucking know. So the very first job I ever worked when I was a teacher, I got pulled into a meeting by my principal, who told me that another teacher on my team said that I was unapproachable and intimidating because during my free period, when my classroom was being used by this other teacher to do test prep stuff, this teacher was upset that I didn't get up to help out during my free period. The problem is not me helping out. I gladly would have had this person asked. They never did. Instead, they went to the principal and told them that they were struggling in that class of 30 kids by themselves, and I'm just sitting there and I don't do anything but put my headphones on when I'm in the class. Baby, my headphones are on because I'm autistic. My headphones are on because these kids are loud as fuck and I can't get any work done. My headphones are on because it's my planning period, babe. And yet I was being labeled intimidating because this person was too scared to come up to my desk and say, hey, could you help me out for a second? The most recent job that I worked at a nonprofit where I was the only person of color in this office full of white women. And for some reason, while things started out good, and of course I got that label that every only black woman coworker gets in the works is, you're so cool, you're so hilarious, you're so funny, which is great. I know those things about me, but it's something that happens when you are the only black woman in a space where people kind of look to you to be the entertainment and look for you to be on all the time. And that was not me. I told my boss early on that I had autism and that I also have ADHD. And when I asked simply to close the door halfway and turn the lights off and use a lamp in my office, I was told that I would have to provide medical documentation that would then have to be submitted to the board of directors so they could approve these accommodations and make sure that they were not causing undue hardship for them. To turn the lights off, use a lamp, and close the door halfway. On top of that, I also used to get pulled into lots and lots of meetings with my boss. Many of these meetings happened within a week where I was being told, you don't look happy. I don't know if you are connected to the mission we do here. I don't know if I trust your work. I don't know if I feel confident in the work that you do to let you work from home. For context, I never had a bad anything that anybody had to say about the work I did. I was good at what I did. The issue was that my boss never trusted me. Whenever my boss would take days off and work remote, this person was working all the time. Everybody trusted what she was doing. However, when I asked to work remote 1 day a week, which is something my boss told me I actually would be able to do after my 90 days, and then it never happened, I was told, I don't know if I trust you enough to let you work from home. What? And mind you, after like 6 months, my boss pulls me into a meeting and says, I don't really think you're doing all 3 parts of your job description because I only ever see you doing 1. Dear reader, my boss was out of the office at least 3 days out of the week. And the times when she was in the office, she was in constant meetings, constant everything, and wasn't really interacting with the rest of us like that. So she actually had no idea what I was doing. So when I laid out the receipts and I was like, that's interesting because I've been doing da-da-da-da-da and I've also been doing da-da-da-da-da for this job description, she goes, oh yeah, I guess you have. Bitch, if you're going to have a meeting with me and tell me I'm not doing my fucking job, you better know for absolutely certain and have receipts that I'm not doing my job. That's not what this was. My boss was very upset about the fact that I was uncomfortable around her. This is a person who would walk into the office and literally just stand right behind me for 30 minutes, just watching me while I was working. This is a person who would frequently lean into my personal space to get to me or get to something on my desk, to get to my computer. And me having had previous experiences with, people hitting me or assault, things like that, I get very antsy when people are super fucking close to me. And I don't do anything but just... And she took that as me being like mean to her or something. I don't know. Like, it was very, very strange. Ultimately, I did have to leave this job because there was just a number of instances of mismanagement, of hostile, like, workplace type things. And I did not really see any recourse because I felt like as long as this person was working there, I would not be able to grow professionally. I would not be able to work without like the constant threat of anxiety or things like that over my head.
And they finna walk us out. But
when it comes to a job, baby, I'ma quit that.
Alright y'all, we have come to the end of the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Again, as I said in the beginning, and on part 1, if y'all didn't watch part 1, y'all make sure to watch part 1. But like I said in part 1, like I always say on my videos anyway, like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you keep liking the video, subscribing, sharing it out. And guess what, y'all, I want to see y'all in the next video. Make sure y'all watch all the other previous videos because guess what, y'all, I have so many videos like compilations that y'all don't want to miss out on the tea. Okay, so I will see y'all in the next video. Until then, y'all stay safe. Bye.
Hey Zuma, you taking off?